Hello, everybody. Welcome in again to the rundown of Exposure Baseball. There he is right there, the man, the myth, the soon-to-be legend, Brandon Turner, the guy that runs the show, the straw that stirs the drink, the man when it comes to Exposure Baseball. All right, this is Greg Payne. Brandon, let's get started. What do you got? What do you got good this week?
Well, like we've kind of talked about every week, a lot of guys that are doing a lot of good things, and the first thing I want to make sure I bring up is the fact that one of our 2024s, Henry Allen, committed to Mississippi State yesterday. So
Saw
excited,
that.
yeah, excited for him. He's a corner infield, can play corner outfield, but he just has the ability to be able to really hit. And so that's one guy I wanted to be able to make sure that, and as we move along here, now that we're doing this, we can kind of highlight some of those guys that are committing and so forth. But like I said, Henry Allen, really excited for him. Other than that, college baseball, another weekend, high school baseball now, Tennessee, heck, they almost got half a month under their belt here. It's been great getting out, watching a lot of the guys. And let's see, on Monday, was it Monday? Monday, I watched Silverdale versus Boyd Buchanan. Last night, I watched Walker Valley and Oodlewall. Both of those really good games. But like I said, it's good to finally get back out. Like we talk about each week, getting back to a little bit of normal here.
Yeah, I talking about Henry Allen committing to Mississippi State. They're obviously got a lot higher quality athlete than what they used to take.
That's exactly right.
Yeah. No, but with the rain and all, of course, it's so frustrating. I do not miss. Let me tell you, I don't miss being a high school coach for several different reasons. One of them is the cold, and the other one is the rain. Having to deal with that. The guys at Baylor and Gordon Lee and Boyd, they got flood problems and they got to worry about that stuff. I don't miss any of that.
I saw that. Let's see, the next 7 or 8 days supposed to have some sun, which after this past week, we're gonna, a lot of those places, they need it.
I mean, it's terrible.
That's the good thing about McCallie is, being there on the turf field and so forth, that, you guys didn't have to worry about as much, but
the outfield there is terrible. The outfield at McCallie's terrible.
Always has been.
Yeah, the infield's great. I mean, it does help a lot. But man, the outfield, I was worried that my outfielders would have trench foot, they're standing out there in the water like a World War I warfare. It was terrible.
Yep.
But let's talk about some college baseball. I happened to just tune in last night to watch a little bit of Texas A&M in Texas. And one of the things they said that I noticed, and maybe you can talk to this, I don't know, but they talked about how midweek games anymore, you don't have the 13-12s anymore. That game last night was 2-0. Texas had like 4 hits. It was a 2-0 game in the midweek, in between conferences. And what that says to me, of course, Texas and Texas A&M are 2 heavyweights. But what that says to me is, pitching is still good, even in midweek games anymore. And used to, it was not quite that way.
Well, I think a lot of it has to do with, when I was coming up, say you face somebody, it's going to be 88, 91 in high school. You were, they were. That's a huge arm. That's a big time arm. And it still is. But at the same time, there's so many more that, by the time they get to college, they're not, my roommate was a hard thrower at Mississippi State, and he was 91, 94. Once he was there, he'd end up getting, 95, 97. But they're getting to school and being 94, 97 nowadays.
Right.
And it's just, I think, and that's usually, what you got on midweeks is some of the younger guys that are throwing and so forth. Instead of facing, an 88, 91 arm, nowadays you're facing 94, 95 in the midweek. And you're starting to see a lot of that. And I get, everybody's, the game, it's not as good, it's boring and so forth. At the end of it all comes down to the arms are a lot better now. And honestly, the players are getting better. Yeah. And it, we talk about it all the time, about, what can we do to improve the game and so forth. At some point, you got to sit there and tip your cap and say, the arms are so good that it's human nature, no matter if the strikeouts or whatever, it's hard to hit. Especially, when guys in the big leagues are throwing sliders that they used to be their fastballs with velo
Yeah.
wise.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's definitely jumping into a different time here to where, when you go to college, it doesn't matter, the D2 level. I mean, I was talking to Carson Newman yesterday, game 3 this past week against Wingate. They were facing a guy who went 7 innings, 95, 97, 93, 94 in the 6th. So, it doesn't matter which level you're at. It's going to be hard to hit. And, I think that's the reason why you're seeing a lot of, everybody's in love with the home runs and so forth. I get that. And that has a lot to do with it. But on top of it, it's just the arms are so good that it's hard. I mean, if you see somebody hitting over 300, it's like it would have been when they were hitting 360, 370, even 15 years ago.
That's true. I'll tell you, some people think it's boring, and obviously I'm not going to, but I thought that 2-0 game last night was great. I enjoyed watching that game. So, but I understand everybody wants to see the home run, and there was a monster home run in that game, but even so. Let's jump in and talk about some of our dudes.
Another good weekend. Hunter Wolf, TCU, 4 for 11, 2 home runs, 5 RBIs. Good to see him getting it rolling again. John Behrens continues. And he's one that was, I think, 2 for 9 his first 2 games against Austin Peay. And you're like, okay, well, he's human. And then game 3, 4 for 5 with a double and a home run. So he went 6 for 14 with a home run, double, 4 RBIs on the weekend. Chaz Bertolani at Lipscomb continues to swing it really well. 6 for 14, double, 4 RBIs. Jake Hagenow getting a lot of opportunities there at MTSU. 2 for 7, double, RBI. They split with UAB there for MTSU. Alex Gonzalez here at Covenant had 3 home runs, 7 RBIs, doubleheader sweep of Huntington. So it's good to see him continuing to do well. Andre Tarver continues to, do what we all, know he can do and expect him to do. He was 7 for 16 with double RBI. Miguel Soto, Arkansas Little Rock, 6 for 13, double, 2 RBIs. Series win for Arkansas Little Rock, which they beat Southern Illinois, which this year Southern Illinois going into that weekend was 18-1. So that was a big series win for them. Ashton King, 6 for 13, 3 doubles, 3 RBIs against Samford. Paul Comastak continues to be trending here in the right direction for Cincinnati, 4 for 11, 5 RBIs. They've won a series there for Cincinnati against St. Louis. Santi Montiel, 3 for 10. Balin Moore there at Georgia College, 3 for 8. Ethan Shelton transferred from ETSU. Now he's at Cumberland, 4 for 9. On the weekend, we also added in a home run. Kai Bush against Pepperdine, which I don't know if you've ever been to they played at Pepperdine.
Oh.
And I actually was there about a year and a half ago. Me and my wife went to Los Angeles, and we went over there to Malibu, and that would not be a bad place to play.
No, I think I could do it.
Yeah, I could get by. We got the Pacific Ocean in the background there.
Yeah.
But against Pepperdine, 5 innings, 1 run, struck out 6. Jerry Hammonds is out of this world right now. He's 5 for 7, home run. Matthew Ellis at Walters, 2 for 6. Aaron Hubble got a relief appearance, did really well. Justin Freeman at Lee had a really good weekend. It was good to see that. He was one of our players of the week, 8 for 14, 6 runs scored, triple. He's one that, is easy to root for just because he's, as good of a human being as you're ever going to meet.
Yeah,
Gunnar Rick.
Listen, great family too. If you know his mom and dad, they're fantastic.
It's literally always like that, and you know that.
Yep.
I mean, it's they're always tied together. Yep. Gunnar Ricketts, 4 for 13, triple, home run, 3 RBIs. Katie, another good weekend. Had a home run, 3 RBIs. He was hitting 366 with 9 home runs going into last night. He was 1 for 4, 1 for 5 yesterday. I'm not sure, but he hit another home run, so he's up to 10 on the year. Evan Russell had one of the biggest games, probably of single game of anybody in college baseball, going 3 for 5 with 3 home runs, 5 RBIs in Game 2 win over LSU. Mitch Jebb from Michigan State continues to do really well, 4 for 9, double RBI. Miguel Usesh, we talked about him, 5 for 14. Gabriel Esquivel at Santa Fe down in Florida, 3 for 7. Brayson Hersman at Utah, Jack Winiger at Murray State continue to throw it really well. But those are a few of our guys. Obviously we can't get to every single one of them every week, but good to see a lot of our guys continuing to do really well.
Yeah, the reach of exposure goes coast to coast. You're talking about guys in the West, but that's great. This touched a lot of lives. So that is a testimony to you and to Debo and what you guys try to do.
Well, it's one of those things too where I say it all the time. We had so many people at the beginning that bought into the way that we do it. And I get it. It's not for everybody. I tell everybody that I'm not for everybody. But we had many. Yeah, I know it's a shocker to a lot of people. But we had so many people that bought into like, hey, okay, this is the way they do it. We're going to trust them. And, it made it, an easy transition at the beginning. And then even with, some of our West Coast guys, they just blended extremely well with when they come over and we blend the two together. But even out there, it's always good families. We've always been really fortunate with that. And that obviously has a lot to do with not just this, with anything anybody ever has in life. Having good people around you is key.
It's funny how that works out. Let's talk about Jerry Hammonds. And I want you to tell you something. I graduated with a guy named Jerry Hammonds, and he didn't play baseball. And every time you say Jerry Hammonds, in my mind, I'm like, that dude don't play. He didn't play. This Jerry Hammonds can play.
Yes. No, he is a guy. He's a third-year guy at Walters. He went to, back then it was Knox Christian, but then he transferred to Farragut. He's been at Walters. He's been their 3-hole hitter since day one. This year, right now, he's right around hitting 440.
That's pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it's not bad. It's not bad. Got 16 home runs. He's a guy that isn't going to overthink anything. But he's had so much success from the time he stepped foot there. And I think he's getting, some pro interest. And I think that, he's got a, opportunity there to hopefully get a chance after this year, because, that's always been his main goal, is to play professional baseball. Like we talk about all the time. A lot of people like school. A lot of people, they don't like it as much. And for him, his goal has always been to play professional baseball. So it's good to see him continuing to do well. I think Walter State, right now they're like 28 or 30-1, something like that. So yeah. And, but he's anchored them for all 3 years he's been there. The third being because of last year with COVID, right. He was able to come back. But again, he was with us his 17U summer, and great kid, good family. Happy for him for sure.
Well, if you can hit it, you can play.
Especially at Walters.
Yeah, for sure. The good hitters, true good hitters, are so hard to find. Really.
Yeah.
It's bad. Some of hitting is the most overcoached and under-taught skill in athletics, I'm convinced.
Yeah.
So when you can hit, you can play.
Absolutely.
Well, good luck to him. I hope his dreams come true. Let's transition to high school baseball now. Georgia enters, April is it for them. They'll finish up, I guess, in about 3 weeks and start the playoffs.
Yep,
maybe.
That's right.
And then Tennessee, of course, is a little bit smarter in that regard as far as when they start. It's great if you're in South Georgia. It's not so great if you're in North Georgia. Have to start so early. So let's talk about some things that have happened since the last time we were here.
Just to throw out a few of them. One guy that's having a really good year is AJ Berry there at Seymour. The other night he was 3 for 4, double, 5 RBIs, 4 runs scored. Kane Johnson for Hickson's having a really good year, 2 for 3, double, home run, 2 RBI. Jackson Mushrock, the Memphis, he signed with Memphis, 2 for 3, double, 4 RBIs. On the mound the other day, these are guys that we kind of established as our hitters of a day and pitchers of a day. Andrew Ronnie, 5 2/3, 10 strikeouts, 2 hits, 1 run. He's an ETSU signee. Landon Maynor, Lee University signee, 7 innings, 11 strikeouts, 2 hits, 1 run. Will Pryor, 2022, he's uncommitted, but continues to make really, really, really good strides. He's getting a lot of ton of interest right now. 6 innings, 9 strikeouts, 4 hits, no runs. So those were our hitters of the day, pitchers of the day from Monday. And then just moving forward, Ethan Porterfield, 2024, 6 2/3, struck out 9, only gave up 2 runs. 2022, Will Roper, 2 for 3. Last night, Brogan Jones, who goes to Daniel Boone up in Johnson City, 2 for 3, double, 2 RBIs. Colin Hornbuckle's having a very good year. 3 for 4, two doubles, a home run last night. He's from Boaz, down in Boaz, Alabama. Elijah Gallion, ETSU signee, 3 for 3 last night with a double. Virginia Tech signee Keaton Ray, 2 for 3, double, home run, 3 RBIs last night. And then just moving on from, not just our players of the day, but some of the other guys that had a lot of success on Monday. 2021 ETSU signee Hudson Siegler, 2 for 5, 2 RBIs. 2021 Kentucky signee Tanner Kim, 2 for 4 RBI. For both of those guys for Farragut. Blake Shelton, 2022. He's been swinging it really well this year. 2 for 3, doubles, 6 RBIs. Jackson Steele at Carter High School, 2 hits, 3 runs. They beat Gatlinburg Pittman. Gavin Jones, 2021, who's Brogan Jones' older brother, went another 7 scoreless. He's up to 17 scoreless innings this year to start off, and I think he's going to get a lot of attention here. Probably one of those guys that would have already gotten attention, but with COVID and so forth, that kind of set him back there a little bit. But 2021 Cleveland State signee Caden Snyder, 3 for 5. And again, AJ Berry, Jackson Mushrock, those guys continue to have really big years, but those are just a few. We got 300 kids in the organization, so we could talk about, we could sit here and just ramble off a bunch of stuff, but those are some guys here this week. Definitely wanted to touch on some guys that are having really good years.
Yeah. Hey, listen, like you said, 300 guys. If you want to get your name mentioned, you're going to have a lot of success, but that's a lot of guys. But, I remember 1,000 years ago when I was in high school, if I had a good game, man, when I got to school that morning, first thing I did was run to the newspaper. I wanted to see my name in the newspaper.
Yep.
And the reason I said that is because I want to say what you and Debo do. I mean, I see names on Twitter. I see names cranked out every night. Every night, there's dozens of names going out, shining a light on the guys that do well. Newspapers aren't what they used to be. So now, instead of running and checking the newspaper, I guess the guys are running and check social media. So I talk to you guys for always getting the names out there, because I remember what it was like to be 15, 16, 17 years old and how important it was to see my name in the paper. Yeah, no,
it's the power of, just like with everything in life, with social networking and so forth. Now it's, you got a lot of schools that follow you, a lot of coaches that follow you. When I say you're, the eXposure Twitter, and, for us, a lot of them know the names already, but it allows them, they don't have time to check on everybody's stats every night. So maybe while they're on the bus to a midweek game, or, on a plane somewhere, just scrolling, they can, they're able to keep up with it and so forth. So for us, that's, the main reason why we always want to do that. And then two, we're proud of them. A lot of them, put a lot of work in. Just like with everything, not all of them, but a lot of them are putting a lot of work in, and everybody has a dream. And for us, for them to choose us, to kind of be in control of it means a lot to us. And yeah, just any way we can shine a light on it, regardless if it's doing this show or doing Twitter or, doing some of these article stuff or highlighting guys that used to play for us. We want to make sure that no matter where they are with us, whether they're in college or they're with us right now, that we're always keeping up with them. They always got somebody in their corner.
Yeah, I think that's a big deal. Not to just embrace the guy when, oh, sure, it's easy to, when that guy's a first round pick or something like that, that's easy to go, yeah, that's our guy, it's our guy. But it's not about that. This isn't what you're doing. I mean, not to say that we're not proud of the first round guys. Of course we are, but it's not just the first round guys. Exposure is so much different than that. So, and we can talk about brand names in regards to summer baseball and travel ball and how important that is. That's another show. We'll do that on another time.
Yeah.
Because this is more about the kids. But seriously, good job on putting those names out there. It's I always enjoy doing this just to hear what the guys are doing. But I've already read it all from the Twitter machine.
That's right.
Scrolling every night. So anyway, we look forward to next week. We look forward to sunshine. Did I leave anything out for this week?
I don't believe so. This upcoming week, got some guys going on spring break. Got some tournaments and so forth going on this weekend. So look forward to getting out, checking some of those out, and going to try to get up to Knoxville this weekend. They got some tournaments and stuff going on up there. So trying to get up there, hit up some of our guys up there, and just keep plugging away. And at the same time, figuring out here that, wow, the summer, we're not too far away here. So excited to get everything going though, for sure.
Less than 2 months away from that kicking off. It's usually about Memorial Day weekend, right, with the high school guys?
Yep, that's right.
All right. Brandon, great job as always. Appreciate you and what you do for the kids. It's a big deal. And for the straw that stirs the drink, Brandon Turner, I'm Greg Payne. This has been the Rundown with Exposure Baseball. Talk to you soon.